Hi, welcome to eSewingWorkshop.com. My name is Nehzat. In this lesson, we will learn how to cut and sew a dirndl skirt.
A dirndl skirt is a rectangular cut skirt that gathers around the waistline. We can use a waistband fastened with buttons or clasps, including a zipper, or we can use elastic to keep the skirt in place. In this lesson, we will show you how to sew a dirndl skirt with casing and elastic band for the waistline and embellish it with ribbons.
Let's begin.
The dirndl skirt pattern we will draft will be made of two simple rectangles like these, one wider than the other. The wider one for the front and the narrower one for the back. The length of the rectangles together will be the fullness of the skirt, and the width of the rectangles is the length of the skirt. The length of the rectangles can be 1.5 to 3 times the waist circumference, depending on how much gathering or fullness we like, plus the seam allowances. If the length of the skirt is below the knees, we need more than 1.5 times the waist circumference for the fullness. Otherwise, we need to have slits at the side or center back of the skirt to make the skirt more comfortable to move in. If our fabric is lightweight, we can have more fullness. In this lesson, we will use a medium weight woven fabric and 2.5 times the waist circumference for the fullness. The width of the rectangles will be the length of the skirt plus the hem allowance at the bottom. For a skirt with a waistband, we need to add a seam allowance to the top to join it to the waistband. This seam allowance can be about 13 millimeters. Or for a skirt with casing and elastic band at the waistline, we need to add excess fabric for the casing to contain the width of the elastic band. Today Nicole is helping us with this lesson. To take her measurement, we tie a ribbon around her waistline. We measure Nicole's waist circumference. It is 63 centimeters. Now we measure the length of her skirt. She wants her skirt to be about this long. We measure the length from the bottom of the ribbon. It is about 36 centimeters. Next, we will draft our patterns. Now we will draw the elastic band through the casing and test how it fits. We know that Nicole's waist circumference is 63 centimeters, so we cut the elastic band the same length for now. The elastic band needs to be shorter than the waist circumference, but we need to join the ends of the elastic band as well. So for now we keep it the same, but after the fitting we will know how much to trim away from it if needed. To pass the elastic band through the casing, we use safety pins. Since the elastic band is wide, we pin 2 corners to prevent the elastic band from folding in the casing, and to avoid ripping it by distributing the pressure in 2 spots. Pass the pins in the opening and push it through the casing like this. Pin this end to keep this side of the elastic band out of the casing like this. At the side seams, to make it easy to pass the pins through the casing, we pull the two sides apart like this. This way, when we push the pins through this area, they will not get stuck behind the seam allowances. Continue all the way around. At the opening, before reaching the seam allowance, we can place the head of the scissors inside and rest the safety pin on the scissors to make it easy to pull them out. This helps prevent the safety pins from getting stuck on the seam allowances. Now pin the elastic band on this side to keep it in place like this. Remove these pins. Pin the elastic ends together from the inside, close to the opening. Leave about a 2 cm tail on either side, making sure the ends are flush. Remove these safety pins. Spread the gathered fabric evenly like this. Check to see that the elastic band is not folded or twisted in the casing. Next, we will see how the skirt fits at the waist.